Nothing ruins a fantastic scene faster than awful visuals. Welcome to Watch Mojo, and today we'll be counting down our picks for the top 10 awesome movie moments ruined by terrible effects. For this list, we'll be looking at times where bad special effects distracted audiences from great scenes. We're not saying the movies on this list are great, or that the CGI is awful throughout.
This list is just focused on the times where awful CGI brought down scenes that should have been awesome.
So settle down, and let's get it on.
If you like what you're hearing, be sure to check out the full song at the link below.
Number 10. Low-End Legolas.
The Lord of the Rings, The Return of the King. When the massive Oliphants entered the Battle of Pelennor Fields, they looked and felt like real threats.
Unfortunately, the same could not be said for Orlando Bloom's Legolas when he encountered them.
The elf decides the best and coolest way to take the elephant down is by scaling it solo and shooting its neck.
But as Legolas climbs, his body awkwardly switches between Bloom and an unnaturally smooth CGI clone.
The CGI elf doesn't look as detailed as the elephant he's climbing on.
As a result, Legolas ironically feels faker than the entirely computer-generated creature.
Now, don't get us wrong.
Legolas did an amazing job taking on the Oliphant.
We just wish the visuals here were as impressive as his feet.
That still only counts as one.
Number 9. Awful Armored Ares.
Wonder Woman.
In 2017's Wonder Woman, our heroine wants nothing more than to kill Ares, the god of war.
When the first two clashed, the fight looked like it would live up to all the hype.
But everything changed when Ares covered himself in CGI metal.
Let's see what kind of god you really are.
The resulting armor lacked color and distinctive features.
This made it hard to spot Ares' body against the already dark background. Unfortunately, audiences could see actor David Thewlis' face peeking out from underneath the armor. Instead of looking intimidating, the human face among the dark CGI made Ares look ridiculous.
Destroy her, Diana.
What should have been an epic showdown between gods became a struggle for the audience to take Ares seriously.
Number 8. Not So Great Escape.
The Hobbit, Desolation of Smaug.
Go, come on, let's go.
An escape scene is only great if audiences believe someone is in danger.
If a movie doesn't make the action feel threatening, you end up with something like the barrel scene in The Hobbit, Desolation of Smaug.
During the film, Bilbo and his allies have to escape from a ton of enemies by riding in barrels down a fast-flowing river. The excitement of the scene disappeared when the powerful and detailed rapids suddenly became a cheap stream of bland CGI. But the inconsistent scenery wasn't the only bad effect. The orcs, dwarves, and elves all switch between actual actors and unconvincing CGI at random moments. Since nothing in the scene felt totally real, it was hard to be thrilled by their watery escape. Number 7. The Incredible Floating Bruce Banner. Avengers: Infinity War. Avengers: Infinity War was full of seamless visual effects, but there were also places where the CGI was so obvious that it was distracting.
I'm okay.
When hope looked lost during the Battle of Wakanda, Thor made an epic entrance. But we were completely taken out of the moment's gravitas when Bruce Banner took off his CG Hulkbuster helmet. His head looked like it was floating above the big armor. It gave the impression that Banner was photoshopped into the Hulkbuster at the last second.
You guys are so screwed now!
This effect is especially disappointing when you consider that characters like Iron Man looked fantastic while wearing a CGI suit, and he was in the same movie.
Okay, Quill, you gotta cool it right now. You understand?
We shouldn't have been distracted by Banner's floating head during Thor's tremendous save. Number 6, Substandard Stampede, King Kong.
There's only one creature capable of leaving a footprint that size.
Whenever audiences are taken to Skull Island, they look forward to seeing both King Kong and the awesome dinosaurs he shares the island with. While Kong looked great, the dinosaurs fell short in a major scene. During the 2005 film, a rescue party gets caught up in a prehistoric stampede. The photorealistic dinosaurs just don't look like they're sharing space with human characters. The visual disconnect makes it obvious the actors are running in front of a green screen. It was hard enough to buy that Jack Black's character could outrun dinosaurs while carrying camera equipment. The poor visuals ensured this tense stampede was impossible to take seriously.
Number 5, The Rubbery One.
The Matrix Reloaded.
We are here because of you, Mr. Anderson. We're here to take from you what you tried to take from us.
During The Matrix Reloaded, the sinister Agent Smith attacks Neo with an army of clones. When the fight begins, the combination of seamless CGI, practical effects, and fight choreography looked incredible. But that changed when Neo inexplicably became smooth and rubbery in the middle of the fight. The hard impacts of the practical stunts were tossed aside so that he could perform absurd physics-defying feats. We could almost accept this if the movie didn't continually switch between the live-action Neo and his rubbery counterpart at random points. The clash between the One and Agent Smith was fantastic before it made its awkward transition to a CGI Neo. Can we take the blue pill and forget the second half of the fight? Number 4, Crude Claws, X-Men Origins, Wolverine. If you're making a Wolverine movie, you have to get a few things right. He must be from Canada, he has to fight someone, and his claws should look badass.
Unfortunately, X-Men Origins Wolverine couldn't pull off the latter.
After Logan gets his bone claws covered in the metal adamantium, he closely inspects them. His new claws look like a rough test render instead of the final effect. The lighting on them is too shiny to realistically blend into the scene.
You right in there?
They also lacked enough detail to look sharp. Logan's claws looked 100 times better in the first X-Men. Since the film came out a full 9 years before this Wolverine prequel, the visual effects team should have been able to present much better claws. Number 3, a disappointing rematch, Black Panther. The first fight between Killmonger and Black Panther was a hard-hitting and tightly choreographed match that relied on practical stunt work. So when they clashed again at the movie's climax, we were ready for another epic bout. Unfortunately, the rematch stepped away from what made their first fight so great. Killmonger and Black Panther both wore full-body CGI suits that seemed to make them weightless. As a result, their blows felt less impactful, and when a vibranium train caused their suits to start failing, the CGI's lighting and textures failed to look convincing. These subpar effects distracted from the excellent music, dialogue, and weight of the scene. Frankly, a movie as excellent as Black Panther deserved much better. Number 2, Sketchy Scorpion King, The Mummy Returns. Scorpion King's debut should have been intimidating.
Not only was he feared by the terrifying Imhotep, but he was played by an absolutely shredded Dwayne Johnson.
When the Scorpion King finally appeared, the audience was stunned into silence by how terrible he looked. An awful sketch of The Rock's face was pasted onto a terribly rendered scorpion body. The resulting combination looks far too awkward and disjointed to be terrifying. And the closer the camera gets, the smoother and faker he looks. As it is, the movie's version of Scorpion Kings looks less intimidating than his PlayStation 2 video game counterpart. In fact, you'd be better off playing the game than watching this disappointing scene. As if we couldn't be loaded up with more CGI disappointment. Not to be a Debbie Downer or beat the dead horse, here are a few more awesome movies ruined by poor special effects. Needlessly remastered Jabba the Hutt, Star Wars Episode 4, A New Hope, because the original puppet looked better.
Con Watuipe.
You didn't think I was gonna run, did you?
An Mabuki. Kili Kaliakuka.
Clue's unsettling debut, Tron Legacy, because his face was an uncanny valley version of Jeff Bridges.
Dad. Sam. Look at you, man. Look at the size of you.
Grop's groan-worthy introduction, Harry Potter and the Order of the Phoenix, because Hagrid's giant brother looked like a troll.
Grop! Put me down. Now.
Voldemort unveiled,
Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone,
because Voldemort's disgusting face should have stayed hidden.
Harry Potter. We meet again.
Voldemort.
Bond surfs a terrible tidal wave, Die Another Day, because the wave looked worse than a 90s screensaver.
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications.
Number 1, not a great fall, Robocop.
Well, give the man a hand.
Most of the violence in Robocop is achieved through practical effects. As a result, every gunshot and injury felt real. But realism was literally tossed out the window near the end of the film. After the slimy executive Dick Jones takes a co-worker hostage, Robocop shoots him until he falls out of a window. As Jones falls, his arms and legs stretch out like he's Mr. Fantastic. His face and clothes also appear discolored, and to top it all off, his body starts to blink out of existence before it hits the ground. Maybe the filmmakers thought the shot would go by too fast for audiences to notice. Unfortunately, we can't look away from the spotty CGI that ruined a great villain's demise.
Do you agree with our picks? Let us know in the comments. And hey, if you like the music playing right now, be sure to check out the full song right here.